He knows that every move he makes is being studied in Washington, in Paris, and in Brussels. Already, rumors swirl of multiple assassination attempts quietly thwarted. Some speak of poison, others of infiltrators within the army, others of drones hovering in the sky. None of it has been confirmed, but in Africa, where leaders like Sankara and Lumumba were taken so suddenly, no rumor can be dismissed. The threat is always there. They say history repeats itself, and in Africa this pattern has been painfully clear. Every time a young, fearless leader rises, every time an African dares to dream of freedom, every time a man or woman dares to challenge the power of the West, something mysterious happens. Either they are overthrown or they are killed. And today, the name on everyone's lips is Ibrahim Traoré, the 36-year-old soldier who became president of Burkina Faso, has become one of the most talked-about leaders in the world. In less than 2 years, he has transformed his country into a symbol of resistance, a resistance against Western dominance. He expelled French troops, he challenged the United States, he rejected the IMF and World Bank's chains, and he built new alliances that put Africa first. But with this boldness comes danger, because history shows us one thing: the West never lets go of its grip on Africa without a fight. Before we continue, make sure you subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our stories about Africa's struggle and rise. Now, let's go deeper. Think about Patrice Lumumba in the Congo. He dreamed of independence. He dreamed of using Congo's vast resources to lift his people. What happened? He was hunted down, betrayed, murdered. And the CIA, along with Belgian intelligence, was deeply involved. Think about Thomas Sankara, right here in Burkina Faso. He dared to reject French control. He dared to call out imperialism. He dared to dream of a self-reliant Africa. And what happened? He was assassinated in a coup that many still believe carried the fingerprints of France, and now, decades later, the cycle threatens to repeat itself. Because Ibrahim Traoré is walking the same dangerous path. He is young, charismatic, revolutionary, and fearless. He speaks to the hearts of Africans everywhere, not just in Burkina Faso. He represents hope, and for the West, hope like this is dangerous, because it spreads like fire. Reports have already emerged of attempts to destabilize his government. Terrorist attacks suddenly spike whenever Burkina Faso takes a step closer to freedom. Sleeper cells reawaken, groups armed and financed from the shadows appear overnight. So who is really pulling the strings? Who is really benefiting from this chaos? Every bullet fired, every bomb planted, seems designed to weaken the people's confidence and create the excuse for intervention. Western media has already begun its campaign. Look closely. When Traoré speaks about sovereignty, they call him authoritarian. When he nationalizes resources, they call him a dictator. When he refuses French military bases, they call him anti-democratic. It is the same playbook used against Sankara, against Gaddafi, against Lumumba, even against Nkrumah. First, they attack your image, then they isolate you, and finally they remove you. But here's what makes Ibrahim Traoré different. He is not walking alone. Unlike Sankara, unlike Lumumba, he is not isolated. He has formed the alliance of Sahel states with Mali and Niger. Guinea stands close by in support. Together, they are building a shield, a Pan-African fortress against Western interference. For the first time in decades, African leaders are standing side by side, refusing to bow. And that makes the mission of destabilization much more difficult. Still, the danger is real. Spies do not wear uniforms. They hide in embassies, in NGOs, in the offices of international organizations. They come with briefcases instead of guns, with contracts instead of bullets. But their purpose is the same: to weaken, to confuse, to divide, and, if necessary, to eliminate. Burkina Faso knows this. Traoré himself has hinted at it. He knows he is being watched. He knows that every move he makes is being studied in Washington, in Paris, and in Brussels. Already, rumors swirl of multiple assassination attempts quietly thwarted. Some speak of poison, others of infiltrators within the army, others of drones hovering in the sky. None of it has been confirmed, but in Africa, where leaders like Sankara and Lumumba were taken so suddenly, no rumor can be dismissed. The threat is always there, always in the shadows. And yet, despite all this, Traoré does not step back. He speaks with even greater boldness. He addresses the youth directly, calling on them to take ownership of their destiny. He wears his military uniform not as a costume of power, but as a symbol of resistance. A reminder that the revolution is not finished. His confidence terrifies his enemies, because it inspires millions. France knows it is losing. The United States knows its influence is shrinking. Europe sees the writing on the wall. An Africa that refuses to be controlled, an Africa that stands united, is an Africa that the West cannot exploit. And so the war against Traoré is not just about Burkina Faso. It is about stopping a movement before it spreads across the entire continent. But here is the twist. Every attack against him, every plot, every threat, seems to only make him stronger. When France withdrew its troops in defeat, his popularity skyrocketed. When the West accused him of being authoritarian, more Africans rallied to his side. When sanctions were threatened, he found new allies in Russia, China, and within Africa itself. The West's old tricks are no longer working. And this is why many believe Traoré may survive where others did not. Because Africa has changed, social media has changed. Information spreads too fast now. If something were to happen to him, if he were to suddenly disappear under suspicious circumstances, the entire continent would erupt in fury. Millions would march, millions would protest, millions would refuse to accept the silence that swallowed Sankara and Lumumba. The West knows this, and this fear may be the only thing keeping Traoré alive. Still, the shadows are never far. A sudden explosion, a sniper's bullet, a silent poison. These are the whispers that surround him every day. And yet, every morning, he steps out again. Fearless, every day he chooses to walk the same road Sankara walked, knowing the dangers, but refusing to surrender. Because he knows that leadership is not about safety, it is about sacrifice. If you believe Africa must protect leaders like Traoré, make sure to share this video right now so more people understand the stakes. The question now is this: will Africa protect him? Will the people rise if the shadows move against him? Or will history repeat itself once again, with another young revolutionary silenced too soon? For now, Ibrahim Traoré remains alive, remains defiant, remains a symbol of hope. But make no mistake, the secret war against him is real. And it is happening right now. The eyes of Paris are watching, the ears of Washington are listening, the hands of Brussels are waiting. But the heart of Africa beats louder, and as long as the people stand with Traoré, as long as Africa refuses to kneel, no bullet, no spy, no Western scheme can kill the dream he represents. Because the truth is simple: you can assassinate a man, but you cannot assassinate an idea. And the idea of a free Africa is alive, stronger than ever. Ibrahim Traoré may be in danger, but he is also unstoppable. This struggle is bigger than one man, bigger than one country. It's about you, your voice, and your future. Together, we are the voice of a new Africa. So add your thoughts in the comments, share this message with your community, and subscribe so you and I can keep building this movement side by side. Africa rises when you rise.